Yo, peace, world. Pappy Kymone Freeman, angry black man in therapy. Without a beard this time. Had to shave. This shit was getting too much for the heat and wearing masks, as you should be wearing a mask when you're out in public. I just want to do a quick check-in right here because I was watching I was all heartbroken as everyone else over the news of the 11-year-old getting shot this weekend here in D.C. And I was watching the news report on it and was feeling it because the mother was, she was proactive in her community. She was an activist. She was addressing folks around her. She orchestrated an event that was supposed to be addressing and creating community space in the area that she lived in. I wouldn't have picked July 4th, but, you know, she should have did it on Juneteenth. That's just me. But the report ended with the reporter saying that the mother doesn't support the defunding of police and that she wants to see more police in her communities to prevent this from happening. And I was like, oh, they just politicized this joint. They just went from this tragedy and had, you know, the empathy and my sympathy and everything to now I'm outraged because no disrespect to the mother, I'm saying, but the mother's being used as a pawn to make the political argument that, see, this is why you need police. Motherfucker, we got police. We been had police. And none of this has stopped. Police are not crime fighters, okay? Police do not prevent crime. Police show up after shit done went down and clean up and investigate and all that shit. They do not prevent crime. Police do not prevent crime. And the whole defund police, none of that has taken place yet. So no one has defunded police yet. There's plans to do that and it's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. And then you allow people to make political points on our misery and our pain. And we go along with that. So I want to shout this out because, like, they want to act like motherfucking, excuse my language, I'm a little upset because, like, when we've been used, like, y'all get this together, man. They want to be, oh, well, how you going to live without the police and this type of violence? How you going to have, say, Black Lives Matter with this type of violence? Look, the mayor try to use this to get political points. Not only in D.C., in Atlanta, Chicago. Black women, by the way, trying to get points off our misery. Look, they didn't have problems with Chicago having, Chicago having 20.6% poverty rate. That's more than the national poverty rate. Okay? More than national poverty rate. Chicago has 20.6 poverty rate. And mind you, the poverty rate is low as shit in terms of we determine what poverty is. So it's actually high there in reality, you know, because people are not getting a living wage. Just because you above the poverty rate doesn't mean you good. Okay? But look at these numbers. Chicago, 20.6 poverty rate. DC, here in DC, almost 19% poverty rate. In Atlanta, 24%. 24% of people in Atlanta live in poverty. And you know, when you are broke and you're poor and living in poverty, generations of cycle of poverty, you're going to do dumb shit. We know this. It's not it's not science. It's not rocket science. It's simple. Madiba said poverty is terrorism. So you want to sit here and tell me the mayor of Chicago, the mayor of D.C., the mayor of Atlanta, that you having a higher poverty rate than the national average, and it's almost exclusively black people, is okay. That's fine. That's cool. But then when shit pop off, then you want to say, oh, now there's a problem. It's been a problem. It's been a problem. And you ain't doing nothing about it. You want to talk about all these cities are making money. Atlanta is the fucking Black Hollywood. Everybody going to Georgia shooting. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Perry down there doing his thing. Fucking 24% poverty rate. Oh, Chicago has all these universities in Chicago do this child. Y'all need to stop tripping. Y'all need to stop tripping. You know goddamn well that police don't prevent crime. You know goddamn well that the more police does not improve a problem. I mean, come on, Slim. The safest communities have the most resources. not the most police. The safest communities has the most resources, not the most police. Look all around the world. Wherever you find poor people, there's going to be violence. Where you find rich people, it's all going to be good. Everybody going to be chilling. It's not rocket science. And y'all still allowing these motherfuckers to use y'all as pawns, talking about, oh, you can't say Black Lives Matter because niggas out here shooting. What? But nobody said Black Lives Matter was exclusive to police shootings. No one ever said that. You allowing it to be used. Wake up. We said Black Lives Matter, period. The only difference being is that when black people start shooting people and they get arrested, they go to jail. But when police shoot people, they get vacation, they get pay raises, and if they lose their job, they get transferred. You want to see here and feign some sort of outrage over the 11-year-old here in D.C., but then want to say that we don't have to have the same outrage about the Tamir Rice when the cop killed him. He's still good, chilling. Then y'all need to go ahead with that. Look, poverty is violence. Poverty is violence, and it's man-made. Man-made, which means it can be eradicated. But they choose not to. Y'all, don't allow yourself to be used as political pawns. These mothers are grieving. I have no problem with them. I'm coming to their aid, so I'm not here attacking grieving mothers. I'm talking about the people who are taking advantage of it and using it to score political points, as if this is going to save the defund police movement, reimagining this country without police, reallocating resources. It ain't going to stop that argument. The validity is there. They're irrefutable numbers. And if anybody up here want to debate me on any point that I made today about the connection between violence, crime, illiteracy, and poverty, look in D.C. Ward 7, Ward 8 didn't have bookstores for over 25 years. And they do prison population projections based upon reading scores in third grade. It's all mathematics. In fact, I wrote an article about the sources of violence, the causes of violence, when my business partner, Alexander Bundy Mosby was killed. District culture owner, my neighbor, my business partner, when he was killed. Washington Post published the article. The chief of police, Chief Newsom, came to the studio and was like, yo, I read the article. You had some good ideas. We should talk about it. And it's on me, because I didn't follow up with the chief of police asked me, what did I want to do to address this? And I didn't follow up with him. That's on me. But I'm going to reach out to the chief of police right now. I'm letting y'all know. I'm going to go find this motherfucker's card and give him a call, because this is some bullshit right here. All right? Again, we have more than national average in poverty in D.C., Baltimore, in Atlanta. Anywhere you see as a hotspot problem, their poverty rate is higher than the national average. And that's why you see this dumb shit. And it can be eradicated. Look at my man, Mayor of Newark, New Jersey. Ras Baraka, son of Amir Baraka. You know what he did? When he had an employment problem, they created a printing company. The city designed and created their own printing company and gave that printing company all the city contracts and hired nothing but ex-felons and people coming home. People have records, the violent motherfuckers that you're supposed to be so scared about, you want to call the police on. They gave them jobs. Guess what happened? The unemployment went down, crime went down. Unemployment went down, crime went down, poverty went down. Newark's ain't even a brick city like that. Y'all, come on, Slim. Don't play with me. I'm saying I'm off some sugar bear shit. It's from EU. Don't play with sugar. All right? Y'all need to wake up, get real. And the last point I want to make is that when we're talking about these things, we got to always remember that 6 corporations control most of what we see here and read. They always want to jump in front of the story and control the narrative. And anytime you see mayors all finish each other's sentences, that means there's been some communication. All right? There's been some communication. All right? Remember this, people. Remaining awake during a great revolution. Don't you think it's ironic that children have been killed over the July 4th Independence Day weekend in separate cities? Dare I say that there are some conspiracies going on. Because guess what? Y'all think Officer Friendly is out here looking out for you. Yes, there are a few officer friendlies, but the 2006 FBI report confirms that white supremacy has infiltrated all levels of law enforcement. And if they are in fact infiltrated, then they will do whatever they can to preserve their culture by any means necessary. I suggest y'all go watch the movie Purge, the last one. The last movie Purge was about us. About us. Go watch that story. And y'all, if you ain't seen it, we'll talk about it. All right. But I want to make sure that y'all understand that the causes of violence need to be addressed and stop chasing ambulances. Okay. Look at all the people who had proactively addressed violence in our communities that was working. The Nation of Islam was when they had the Ronald Reagan crack epidemic, they was cleaning up stuff. What they do? Throw them out, cancel their contracts with the city. You know, you had the Black Panther Party was controlling violence, kicking drug dealers out. They're COINTELPRO on them. You know, even in D.C., you had the Peace of Harlots was doing their thing with squashing beats. And what happened? All right. So, I mean, I'm just saying, when they stuff that works, they get rid of it. All right. When the stuff that works, they get rid of it. But the poverty still remains, which means the problem still remains. All right. And there's no coincidence wherever you have a large population of black people, you have higher than the national average in poverty. And then, of course, you're going to have higher than the national average in violence. It goes hand in hand. If they wanted to get rid of violence, they would get rid of poverty. And that is the one thing they don't want to talk about. And why did they kill Martin Luther King when they killed him? What was the last thing Martin Luther King was fighting for, people? Economic justice. Economic justice was the last thing that King was fighting for. And it still is here, the economic injustice. And they don't want to address it. Y'all sitting here are going to chime in what these people are telling you, working off your emotions without stopping to think what is the real problem here and why it has never changed. Because our situations and our economic stand in this country has never changed. You want to sit here and keep ordering every goddamn thing off Amazon while Jeff Bezos is on track to become the first trillionaire in this country, and Amazon pays $0 in taxes. $0 in taxes. While you are in D.C. with taxation without representation, you pay higher taxes on average than several states. You. Better do something. Stay woke. We're going to be doing teach-ins each and every Sunday. We Act Radio. Do something. Do something. And I urge everybody to get the book, Remaining Awake During a Great Revolution. Well, excuse me, I missed what. That's a speech. That's my favorite speech, Remaining Awake During a Great Revolution. But the book is Martin Luther King's last book. I wish I had it right in front of me, which is, where do we go from here? Chaos or community? Where do we go from here? Chaos or community? And if you just want to sit there and tell me that billionaires pay $0 in taxes, don't pay in Social Security, don't pay in to benefit social services in this country, but yet and still the poverty, we can't do nothing about it. They can't cancel rent. They don't have enough to provide a living wage for everybody, give everybody a guaranteed income. Something else that Martin Luther King supported, guaranteed income. People, inform yourselves, arm yourselves. You're in the midst of revolution. We're on a frontal attack. We're on all sides, on all fronts. And remember that poverty itself is a form of terrorism. Poverty itself is violence. And we have far too long tried to peacefully coexist with filth. And you should say no more. We have gone too far. All right? See you on the next check-in. I had to get this off my chest. Remember that. Poverty is violence. Poverty is violence. And they enforce it. Got me? You got me? One love. Do something. We Act Radio. Shout out to Montu Mitchell.